Hey there, folks, and welcome back to the Dammâseq Campaign. This is actually the 55th episode of the campaign, which is first of all just crazy to think about, and second of all, quite auspicious. As I've said before, 5 is my favorite number, so 55 is kind of a special number to me as well. And we're starting things off in a quite auspicious manner, thanks to our territorial expansion we did in the previous episode. I always start every episode with this Atlas map mode view of the all of the territory of the actual nation, not including, client states and whatnot. They're sometimes in the frame as well by coincidence, but I only ever focus on having all of the borders of the nation directly shown at one time in the Atlas map mode. And because of our new expansions last episode, we've now reached a point where we had to zoom out another time on the map to fit everything on the screen. If we zoomed in back to where we were last time, or in the last, I think, couple dozen episodes in terms of the amount we've had to zoom out, I couldn't quite fit both Eloth and Ugarit on the screen. If Ugarit was on the screen in the top, Eloth was cut off. If Eloth was on the screen, Ugarit was cut off. And if I squeeze them onto the screen together by moving the UI out of the way like this, then Tadmor was cut off, the furthest eastern point. So we had to zoom out one layer, and one effect of that is, as you can see, all of the settlement borders go away at this layer and above. So we reached a point where we're so zoomed out to fit all of Canaan on the screen at one time that we actually don't even see the settlement borders anymore, which is pretty cool. So definitely a pretty good sign for our progression throughout the campaign. And there is much more progression to come. I am nowhere near done with this campaign, even with all that we've achieved so far. There is much more still to do, as I have hinted at in previous videos. And in this video, there's something we're going to be doing, of course, which is our second war with Kemet. We have our forces over in the Moab and Edom area, basically ready to go to seize their territory over here. We're sure hoping that they don't have an army or mercenaries in the area. If they do have mercenaries, that those mercenaries are open to being bribed. If they have, for example, a 4,000 mercenary force that won't take a bribe, I may be in serious trouble. I may need to emergency hire mercenaries from the area and draw my forces back. We'll deal with what we have to deal with when the time comes. There are, of course, some barbarians also in the south. They're not being attacked by anybody down here, so I think Kemet doesn't have forces in the area. Kemet's currently, of course, fighting their former province Perbast and completely winning at the minute. That's perfectly fine. Honestly, if they finish this war and annex Perbast while I'm fighting Kemet, I can actually take that territory, among other territory, to give to my client state Jedit to further expand Jedit. And of course, with this war, which we're not going to declare quite yet, as I need to get my actual navies into the right positions, as we can move we can move around the Nile. Didn't mean to click the spacebar there. We can move around the Nile before the war starts, which I think is perhaps a little unfair for Kemet, or a little unfair against Kemet, but whatever the case, I'm not going to question it. The goals of the war are to seize all of the remaining Moab and Edom land that's held by Kemet, and also to expand Jedit in eastern Nile Delta, which means we can focus on just sieging down some of the forts in the eastern Nile Delta specifically, and not focusing as much on the forts elsewhere. And generally speaking, I also have a new strategy for how I'm going to use my Herman levy, led by the king, Ahiram, because that's the only levy that can do sacks. I think what I'm going to do is send the first, second, third, and fourth navies, the ones carrying the Herman levy, I'm just going to send them directly down the Nile, directly to Kemet's core around their capital. I may even start a siege at their capital pretty early on. I need to see where their armies are, as I suspect that, I don't just suspect, I'm confident that the Herman levy doesn't outnumber Kemet's own local forces if they raise them around the area, but we can make use of the Nile to kind of move around quite quickly. Now, last time in the previous war, Kemet didn't really use their own navy essentially at all, and we just kind of avoided their navy. They actually have less ships than they did at the time, but presumably they actually have a proper composition of navy that could easily shred through my transport fleet of biremes. So just because we have so many ships to work with and a 12-ship reserve as well we can make use of to replenish lost transport ships, or biremes technically, we shouldn't assume that we can freely move around on the Nile. It's just one long series of tiles, which means that if they're coming, north along the Nile, we're coming south, we gotta kind of turn around and flee. If we can drop our forces off, that's fine, but we want to make sure that the Herman levy especially isn't left by the ships in a kind of bad spot and end up getting stack wiped by angry Egyptians. But I think what we can do is once we have a sense of exactly where their armies are, presumably they're around the north right now because of the Perbast War that they're finishing up here, what we can do is, before the war starts, our ships will be around the Nile, we can sort of try and see where their armies are as best we can. We'll start the war with the Herman levies and their navies down around the southernmost areas, and we'll maybe start sieging Waset right away, and we'll just do what we did last time. We'll move our way, instead of going southward, we'll move our way northward and sack the cities of Kemet's relatively undefended core way in the south here, because they haven't gone to the effort of protecting their own Nile, which is going to really come back to haunt them again in this war, I think. So, with all of that explanation being noted, let's go ahead and get organized here. So, again, just the main change from the previous war against Kemet is I'm not going to actually even bother sacking their unfortified cities that are in the north, at least not with the Herman levies, where I would get the sack for the city, or for my nation, I mean. The other armies may end up incidentally sacking cities around here, but I don't really care about that, or micromanaging that. I'm going to send all of my armies that can do sacks directly south to the richest parts of Kemet, down in the very bottom. And I think we may literally I'll send 2 of my Herman levy forces to get to work sieging down Kemet, and then the other 2 I'll send down to be on either side of the Nile, literally at the bottommost point, and then they'll work their way up. And I think by doing it like this, assuming Kemet's armies are raised in the north right now, they're going to be as far away as possible from my armies, and I'll also keep my navies nearby to provide them with transportation support. So all of these guys will come down first towards Waset, and then the 3rd and 4th navies will actually go a bit further than that, and go all the way down to here. So that's the plan. All of my other navies, I need to actually organize around the Nile Delta area. Now, I think I said this earlier, but my goal with the war up here is to seize control of as much of the eastern Nile Delta to grant to Jedet in the peace deal as possible. Honestly, I think that in the long term, my approach to how I'm going to handle Kemet in terms of future wars, because this is not going to be our last war with Kemet either, is I'll eventually try to have clients and other friendly nations control the north of Egypt, while I leave the south of Egypt for me to essentially farm for money and slaves, sending forces down the Nile to basically do what I'm doing right now. And I think that by doing it like this, I can essentially gradually expand my power over the area. And ultimately, I just want to really control the coastline. I don't really care about controlling further down the Nile. It's not really a huge deal to me. And if I do eventually directly own any part of Egypt at all, it will be the Delta area. I'm perfectly fine to leave Egyptians south of where the Nile becomes just one large river, and leave them there to basically farm forever for gold, basically infinite gold, because these guys have such productive tiles and population to work with. So with all that noted, let's go ahead and get organized here. So the 5th Navy, I don't remember, I guess I can count by the number of ships on here, but some of these are a little bit bigger than others, but they're all around 10 cohorts or so they're all essentially individual armies. So the 5th Navy, let's think about it like this actually. With the goal of trying to get all the forts under siege in the eastern Nile Delta area as possible, or as many as possible, I mean. Let's see here. You go here, actually you go here first. 6th Navy, you work on this fort. 7th Navy, let's see. You come work on this fort. 8th Navy, let's see. 8th Navy comes here. If Perbast is annexed before my war with Kemet starts, they can come just get to work on Perbast. If they're not, they can just sort of stay in the area, and maybe I'll take the army off so they're not taking sea attrition, just to kind of be a swing army in the area. Alright, 9th Navy, you also come down to this area to deal with a wreck case if the Perbast war ends. 10th Navy, we need, yeah, okay, you guys actually come here and seize control of the port at Nehebet, and then come over to siege Puritum. Alright, which means the 11th, 12th, and 13th Navies are going to be essentially reserve armies. I'm really going to concentrate, unlike the previous Kemet War, I learned a lot from the previous Kemet War. Unlike the previous Kemet War, where I basically scattered my armies all over the place and frantically tried to micromanage a ton of armies all in different positions at the same time. I'm much more concentrated this time on a really particular goal of seizing the Eastern Nile Delta to give to Jedet, right? With the main action, really, the main fun happening with my 1st through 4th navies going down to start the sack train upwards along the Nile. Also don't remember if upriver or downriver, which one means what. If going towards, along the river's flow is downriver, I think that's downriver. So I think upriver means to go against the river's flow, because the Nile flows north. So I'm assuming going down like this means we go upriver. It's so confusing, because also this is technically called Lower Egypt, and this is Upper Egypt. So it's there's 3 layers of up and down, meaning the opposite of what you think it means going on here. Whatever the case. So I think that's the way we handle this here. So my last 3 armies, I think I'm going to basically post them up actually at Pershat, which is Jedet's capital, just to kind of be in a swing position to react to any shenanigans if needed. I'll put the boats on this side though. Pershat's in a pretty central location. Actually, well, I kind of should put them in an even better location at Rehent, but I want them to also protect Pershat, as a lot of my success in the area is really the same as Jedet's success, so I can't afford Jedet to really get in trouble here. So let's continue along here. Oh my gosh, we have an oratory researcher. Alright, anybody who is Dammâseq, Aberami, or Mitba, he's pretty good. He's only a little bit worse than the other guy, so I guess we'll go with this guy. Family character as well. Alright. I could also pay for my boats, which isn't the worst idea, but I also could just, well, let's see. I guess I will pay for them just for the goal of protecting the levies, as if I get caught off guard by a naval attack with levies on the boats. If the boats are paid for, they're not going to get stack wiped immediately. I'll have a bit of time to react and make them flee. So that this is more to protect my armies than to actually protect my boats. I'm not being a very Phoenician Canaan, am I? I'm army-oriented Canaan. This is cursed. Oh my gosh, I'm not going to trade with Kemet. I'll trade with Nkomi, though. Alright, so we have a little bit of line of sight now. Okay, so I think we've found all of the Kemet armies, which, on one hand, these are some pretty serious armies. On the other hand, this means these armies are here and not in the south. And ultimately, I'm okay not really expanding Jedet at all, if it comes to that, as long as I get Moab and Adam, which I'm sure Kemet will be pretty open to parting with, and I get to sack Kemet's south. Those are kind of the main key goals of this entire operation. Also, I'm going to have these forces here come to Pershat, and then I'll have these extra navies come over and chill out with the reserves. Well, no, actually I'll keep them here. Well, yeah, I don't want them to take naval range damage. Oh, I guess it's fine, actually. We'll just leave them as it is. Alright. My 11,000 Delenda Est army is on its way south. I'm sure these Kemet soldiers are kind of realizing what's going on. They must not be pleased with that. King Sethre offers friendship. We received an envoy sent by King Sethre I, Malamena, ruler of our subject Nkomi. He offers our ruler King Ahiram his personal friendship. Strengthening our connection with our subject could have its benefits. Yeah, sure. That sounds fine to me. He is Canaanite, so that is sounds good. Alright, these barbs are sieging this all down. Gotta keep an eye on that. Well, we paid them off, so they won't come into my land, at least. So they're softening up the Kemets, the Egyptians for us. I'm gonna wait for these guys to make it all the way down. I may take a little bit of attrition on my navies, but it's worth it to have these guys in position to get to work right away. Civic advance, alright. Cool. I don't remember what I was going for. I think I was waiting. I was getting all of the stuff I need for my Wonder, and at this point I'm just waiting for the PI. I think I need 180 PI. So what I can do now is get to work on some other modifiers I might want. Let's see here. Let's see. I haven't thought through the path I want to go for right now. I guess I'll go for a bit more siege stuff. I kind of was neglecting the siege stuff as I got distracted by wonder building, but let's go back to the siege advancements. Let's get siege towers. During the Siege of Rhodes, Demetrios employed towering siege engines to attempt to scale the walls of the Rhodian city. So I think my volume's a little bit too high. Let me fix that. Actually, no, I have the right volume. Alright, hopefully the in-game noise is not too loud. Let me know in the comments. I guess I'll listen to the video later to see how bad it is, but I think we're probably okay. Alright, oh, Viper Mountain Gnome? Oh, we have another rebellion, okay. This is actually not great, because this may draw their armies southward. I guess that's fine, though, because they're probably going to come back northward, seeing most of my forces around this area. I guess we'll see what they do, but I think we're going to be okay. Oh, gosh. Also, the Tunip integration will be done next year, which I had completely forgot about, to be fully honest, but that will be done next year. Shouldn't be a big deal to be in the middle of the Kemet War during that time. We already have a bit of Ebla controlled, so this will just add more Ebla territory, so we'll deal with that when we get to it. Our guys are, I think, taking some attrition being at sea, but we have, honestly, we have so much manpower right now that even the attrition that those guys are taking. Also, what's kind of nice is that this rebellion happened around a fortified city, which means I'm not missing out on the chance to sack that city. Or I guess I could still attack them separately, but it's not as bad. Right, we are almost down there. It'll be a few more months of sailing. Yeah, these guys are headed. Yeah, these guys are headed south. I think that's fine, actually. The city of Nizran has often been overlooked by the wealthy patrons of our capital. Today, however, Bulo Menas Bastara has offered to spend a sizable quantity of his wealth on constructing a grand temple. Let's see. Governor of Phoenicia. Let's see here. What does Pius give me? Doesn't say. I guess this is fine. Very well. Nizran could be happier. It's fine by me. I don't even need to check what that does. I know that Nizran's happiness would be a good thing. No doubt about it. Alright, come on. I'm gonna wait for these guys to literally be in position just for maximum opportunity to do this. A few more months away. Right, these guys did finish their war here, so that's actually convenient. So I'm glad that I set up the way that I did. I don't know where these guys are going. Unclear. Also, I think the Barbs are coming over to Kemet. Actually, they might be going to Jedit. I don't know if paying off Barbs lets them attack your client states. I suspect that's what they're doing, so sorry Jedit in advance. That was not my intention. Okay, let's go for it. Second war with Kemet, this time against a new pharaoh, Seth Peribsen, who is I believe that this was the guy that was in charge last time, Intef Quiamun, I think? Pretty sure. Yeah, whatever the case. I think that's the case. Or it's the younger pharaoh against a much older, or I guess actually Abdishar was pretty old as well, but whatever the case, let's go to war to take Sawar, which, let's remember, is this location here. So this is actually the war target, so that's convenient for us. We can also show superiority. I think taking Sawar is the goal. All of our clients join, including Tunip, so that's interesting. Jedit joins, of course, which is really good. And Komi joins. We'll see if they send a strike force from the island. Let us go for it. Alright, the upper Kemetic major power of Kemet rallies together to defend. They're on their own, and now they're facing the might of Canaan once more. Alright, so first things first, we're going to do a lot of movement orders right now. The Herman levies will disembark and start sieging. I may just have them force march their way north, because actually embarking without ports onto and off of river navies is really slow, so I think it is actually faster to force march them north, sacking as they go, with the navies kind of following along to provide an escape route by water if needed, but not using the boats. I'm not like doing like Viking raids, or I'm hopping off the boats each time to sack, because it takes too long to disembark with armies this big. So You head here to Inway. We'll sack these 2 spots first, and then we'll head to Wasset itself. So that's the plan there. All right, then up here we have a whole bunch of movement orders to issue. So you guys get to work on Sama Bedet. You guys get to work on Suka. Let's see here. You guys, let's see. Get to work. You guys come to Jedet, which Kemet still controls, which is not going to be for much longer, hopefully. You guys actually join for Jedet, and then you guys, let's see here, come down to work on here. And then I can move forces around as needed, where there's a problem. Alright, you guys come here, stay to seize the port, and then actually there's a Kemet army right there. So we should actually probably, let me do this separate. I should have reacted to this actually a little bit. So these guys actually will take the port and then we'll like back out, I think. So we need to watch the north here a little bit. And then, let's see here. Let me just move one of these armies actually over, one of the Jordan River Valley armies. You guys get into force march and come down here. And you guys come here, and then we'll once these guys link up, we'll be safe. I don't know, this army may not attack this army immediately. Maybe running over to go protect the capital. So I guess actually you stay here. You actually, I'm gonna have this navy come here, and I'm gonna have them disembark here at the fort, just to hold it down in floodplains. That's fine. And then we'll link the 2 armies together because there is an army down here. Okay, meanwhile over here, let's actually get the war target, which is right there. You guys zoom on down to get Batir. And yeah, I'm going to turn this down to, let's see, speed 2. 4th of October for those guys. We begin. Gonna put all their fortresses under siege. Yep. Sieging all their fortresses. Very good. And you pop out. Here's the Kemet Navy, or most of the Kemet Navy. Let's see here. This force might be in danger. I think they're going to get onto the land in time. Once these guys are on land, this 2nd Navy is going to flee over to the reserve, to the station at Tamiat. That's the plan. 13th of October, check back on that. Alright, good. You make away. I'm not wanting to fight this. If I have 2 of my navies together, they probably win if there's 2 together, so let me actually, hold on. Let's try to get some naval superiority here. Let's bring these guys around to the mouth of the Nile. You come over here. We'll see if we can catch these guys. Actually, let's catch them in the coastal sea. Alright, hold on, wait, actually. What am I trying to do here? Do I have a river bonus with these guys? I don't know if there is one on this mod. Actually, you don't split up. That was a misclick. Get back together. All right, you guys come out to the open sea or the coastal sea area, and then you guys let's come to the coastal sea area. That's what we'll do. Okay. Oh my gosh, so many updates at once. Alright, occupation of Gerti is 1, some slaves captured, peacekeepers in Eloth is done, and a stunning display of generosity. Esh Munhiles, a well-loved member of our religious institution, has commissioned a grand festival out of his own pocket. Thanks. Alright, do I already have Cruel? I do not. Maybe because I have arthritis, I'm allowed to do this without getting Cruel. Okay, well, I'm not going to question it. We're going to say none shall hide down here. Alright, and now you guys, or not you guys, you guys now head on over to start working down on their double fortified capital. Get to work on that. Meanwhile, up here, let's see, 19th of October. Yeah, I think we'll be okay. also check over here. Things are looking good. A few more. Here we go. Sacking of Weenie. 210. None shall hide. Alright. So now you force march over here, and that'll take them off force march once they arrive in a bit. Well, I guess I could just siege it with just 3k, but I think I'll have a large siege going just because it's a double fort. May as well. There's no rush up there. Alright, I think we'll catch these guys. Not 100% sure. We'll at least join battle with this force, because this will hold them in place for a bit. Even though I may lose some of my navies here, I think we have the clear naval numbers advantage, so I can use other navies to move forces around. I don't need to use the specific navy with each army that I sent them in with, if that makes sense. Sacking of Swenet. None shall hide. Alright. You head up and grab Cannot for some more score. Meanwhile, over here, this is the sacking of Abu. Also, Occupation of Hura is complete. That's the targets, that's good. Force march your way over to Sowar. Sacking of Abu is down here. Yeah, this is like the previous Kemet War, this war is going to involve a lot of very slow time progression and constantly moving around the camera to see all my different fronts at the same time. Alright. Good. Come up and sack Kitim. These are not the biggest cities on Earth, but every bit of money is nice, so I'm going to take it all. It's all for me. Right, you guys come over to Waset's side, or Waset's side of the Nile, just in case. Okay, so these guys are going to come out to this area October 28th, and then I think they're going to come out further. So I think they're going to catch these guys, and they're going to likely win the fight, but not be able to get away or be caught during the fight. With with my 11th through 13th navies coming in to join. I think that's probably what's going to happen. All right, over here. Okay, here they come. Alright, 6th of November. Let's see here, 1st of November. I think this navy... this navy is going to lose the fight, but I think they hold them here long enough. Oh my god, 17 Marshal Commander? Naval genius over here. I guess just a military genius. Holy crap, I dodged a bullet that they made this guy an admiral of their tiny navy. Well, not tiny navy, but of their kind of small navy. And not like a governor to lead troops. 17 Marshal... Unbelievable. How on earth does this guy have such good marshal? He's also Canaanite? Oh my god. A Canaanite character? Yikes. Alright, well yeah, this navy's definitely screwed. They've got, Admiral of the Century coming down there. Alright, caught the navy. Navy's probably going to get destroyed, but these guys will come in here. I hope to win. I guess I'm not sure anymore if it's a sure thing. Oh yeah, they just stack wipe the navy. Wasos under siege. They're actually going to get away. Okay. The tier is done. Chase these guys down if you can. Ooh, I was not paying attention over here. Shoot. It thinks I'm going to... Oh yeah, I have the 9 Marshal. That's my son there. Alright. Finish sieging that. You... Yeah, I should have been paying attention over here. You run over. You finish sieging and then run over as well. I think we're going to be okay. Okay, down here, you guys are almost to Waset. You guys are making your way northward. Good. Over here, these guys just got Batir. You now come down to, let's see here. We have to go to Yahel. We'll take it from the Levantine Horde, that's fine. Alright. And then, let's see here. 13th of November. Can these guys get away? They actually can get away. 11th of November. I'm going to bring these guys over like this, so that they escape. I don't want to really take a fight where I might lose. And then we have more forces coming in. Alright, there we go. March over here quick. Alright, and then these guys will arrive here 15th of November, so come back to that 15th. Alright. Okay. Palace of Iran is done. Alright, let's import something to help. I don't know what will help. Let's see. Oh, noble happiness. Well, citizen happiness I think matters more, so that means earthenware a clock down here. And it is still earthenware a clock, actually, so yeah. That will have to do. Alright. Where are these guys going? They're going in this direction. Okay. I see what's going to happen here. 24th of November. Let's get behind them and then follow them over so that we can join once they arrive here. Because the first levy of Phoenicia and the fourth levy of Kadesh together do outnumber these guys, and we've got the 9 marshal here to help out. Let's do it like that. There we go. These guys will also join in when the time comes, so good. Alright, down here, you guys move up 1 layer. You, I don't know if I forgot to move you for a day or two, move you up there. Alright, so far so good. I don't know why this is like slower or whatnot, but yeah, so this force here may be in trouble. I hope I can reach them pretty quick. I'm actually going by boat? Oh yeah, there's a fort here. What am I doing? That's why this is slow. Okay, 1st of December, and then we land pretty quick. I'm going to bring all of my navies that are just kind of hanging around, try and gather them together, because I'm kind of nervous about this Kemet navy causing trouble for me. So let's see here. You guys come here. You guys come here. You guys come down here. I don't think we need these navies to move these forces around. There were plenty of spots where they can move over the straits. I mean, minor addendum. Yep, I'll take that. Alright, making good progress. Having the war target right away is really great as well for this war, despite having a few naval losses. We want to try to avoid naval losses when we can. For Bass under siege, alright. Okay. I think everybody's where they need to be. Yes. There we go. Battle has begun. Battle of Rekkes. You're not gonna. I thought I told you to do this move. What's the issue? Why not? Oh, I was using the navy. Oh shoot. Okay. Whoops. All right. That was a mistake. There we go. Okay. That's been fixed. How do I... Okay. This force... Oh my gosh, there's the rest of the Kemet army. Okay, I think we may have an issue here. Let me select this navy, please. These guys are going to retreat onto the navy and leave. I need to pull my forces back slightly. Yeah, okay, so all of Kemet's armies are down here. I think we've spotted all of them. Alright, so they control the southern Nile area, although we're blocking the entrance over there, so that's good at least. I think what I'm going to do, so let me take a second to think about this. All of these navies that are coming over are going to form, as best I can, another... So I'm going to blockade the Nile around Kem and Het Heri Ib, with this particular Nile delta being blockaded at the mouth, to basically force the Egyptians to only have access to the most southern Nile delta while I control the rest of the Nile, so that they can't move their army around more quickly. Although, they do have a huge force overall. So this force here, once they're allowed to retreat in a couple days, if they survive, I'll bring them onto the boats and then try to shuffle them northward. Yes, that's the plan here. And then I have so many armies locked up in sieges right now. I just need to try to concentrate forces wherever their main army, because they have about a 10k force in total together here. Let's see here. 5.5k, 7.5k. If this army escapes, we have about a 10k force here. Although, yeah, we've got other armies we can shift over as well. You actually stay put. Which one of you is better? Daniel for sure. I'm going to send Daniel down onto this boat, and then we're going to move him down with the boat to drop him off over here. So we have a good general and another almost 3k force in the area. Alright, I'm lowering it to speed 1. I don't care what anybody says. It's necessary at the minute to handle this whole situation. Alright, over here, things are good. Literally every day, I need to recalculate slightly. So these guys were 5th of December. Alright, only a few more days. Oh my gosh, no, don't do that. Alright. Come on. Alright, now these guys can flee. Flee onto my boats. I said flee onto my boats. There we go. And they should be safe on the boats, I hope. Now these guys continue down this direction, join in the blockade. Alright, so you are now landing. You actually back up. I'm not going to make that move now. Everyone just come here to Purbast. I'm going to gather my big army at Purbast. I think that's the next likeliest spot this giant army will come. So also move this army over to Purbast to further add forces to it. This army needs to go around to get to Purbast, but we'll do our best. Everybody else come to protect that navy, or that navy, I mean not that army. Everybody come to here to block that off. Alright. And you guys, yeah, continue heading this direction. See how much we can, if we can kick the Egyptians down into just the southern parts of the Nile, like south of the Delta, that's the ideal outcome. This is a great choke point to control. Also, they have another breakaway state here, although this guy's a city-state that's independent, or I mean not at war with Kemet, I mean. So that's the situation with that. What am I looking for here? Alright, you guys, this will, oh, I didn't think about this. This is going to be, shoot, okay, I should have done this the other direction. I'm not going to be able to sack this in time. We'll see if we get there in time to do a sack. I don't think that's going to work, though. Damn it, I'm going to miss out on Nupt. Shoot, alright, come up to Nekeb, that's fine. It is what it is. We're going to make little mistakes like that every so often. So you get off your force march. Okay, up here, onto the boats, 9th of December. Okay, they're actually splitting apart slightly. Oh, they have actually, that's another 3,000. They've got about a 13,000 army here altogether. I think this is all of them. Like, this is, like, almost all of Kemet's main levies, which does mean that these guys are safe, so that's ideal. But definitely not the best news on Earth for me. Sawar is done. Okay, that's good. I guess given that, can I reach here? I can reach here. You guys come down to Ubti just to get a bit more war score. And then we'll start trying our best to get some of this stuff with these armies just to get more war score. Although their job is mostly done at this point. Alright, 9th of December. Let me move you. Come here, 10th of December. Once you're off the boats, these boats can move. Alright, I think we're looking good. Alright, you bring these guys over to Purbast to get stacked up. They're sending over their largest individual, well, I guess not, they have 3, but their largest individual, the southern Upper Egypt army, which is one of their largest ones, is coming over. But I'll have enough forces here that it shouldn't realistically be able to break through my siege at Purbast. I think we're going to be okay. But we shall see exactly what happens here. Alright, everyone's here. Now you can also come down this direction. All of you come down here to this point in the Nile. I don't know where their navy went, by the way. They were just gone, so... Actually, everyone come here and gather up here, and then we'll scope it out. You guys keep coming down. Keeping the reserves up there just in case. I have so many sieges up here, but once some of these sieges finish, I'll have so many forces freed up to come help me actually fight the armies. And the main thing is these armies here are doing nothing to protect their extremely vulnerable southern lands from my marauding, so that's good. Alright. Things are getting a bit more organized here. Yeah, we've had to abandon the southern parts down here. They're gonna go for this attack, apparently. It's interesting. It's not the move I would make, but okay. I'm gonna have these guys come to Sechet so they're not running into an ongoing fight with no morale. That's probably the smart move. 8,000 versus 6.25. I do have the 9 Marshal Prince Daniel here, so... okay, I guess we'll see what happens here, but I don't know why Kemet's making this move. The game doesn't know either. I've got more forces. They do have heavy cavalry, but this is like a fort battle? I guess it's a floodplains battle, so it can't be too bad for cavalry. But they should have the disadvantage. I don't know why these forces are leaving. They could just come over here as well, right? Bizarre. Alright, these guys are also coming over. We'll just get our forces organized here together and keep them as one giant stack. That's the safest way. Alright, yeah, they decided not to make that move. Wisely so. They're gonna hold firm. Okay, they're bringing over the other forces. Alright, let me think about this. These guys together, yeah, it's about 13,000. I will soon have, once this force arrives, about 11,000, and then I'll have the other force needed. So I'll have about 13,000 as well, although some of it won't be full morale. So I may need to draw over one of my sieging armies to just stack the deck even more. Questions, questions, questions. How do I want to handle this? Okay, yeah, their navy's just gone. I do not know what's going on. You guys start coming southward. Yeah. I think I will be able to block their navy in. I mean, having their navy stuck on the southern, main Nile River doesn't protect my southern navies very well. Those navies might get sniped, but it is 2 navies and 2 navies, and they had, I think, what was it, like 14 ships or something? So why don't I actually do something here? I'm going to bring my navies together and have them both be stationed here to blockade south by Waset, south of the Waset area, just so that my navies are concentrated whenever their navy arrives in a year, whenever it makes its way down. You guys come here, you guys come there, and then join in, I guess. I'd rather have them stand with the army for more numbers. Projector power slightly. Alright, you guys now come down here. All of my navies come to... Oh, there's the... Actually, that's my navy. Okay, yeah. Let's come all down. Let's all come down, rather, and post up here. Although, actually, what I will do as well is I'm going to send the 5th Navy to try to keep line of sight on that Kemet army. Let's see. They're going... I don't know if they're going to go north or south, but... Actually, I'm going to have the 5th Navy stay in the north to keep line of sight as best I can. I'll have the 6th Navy come over here to do the same. That's the plan. And both of you guys just come down here. Alright. None shall hide. I'm bummed I missed out on that sack, but you live and you learn. It is what it is. Alright, Badet is actually fortified, and it's not super huge, so I might just leave it alone, honestly. So I'm just gonna go around it. I guess I could work on sieging it. I guess that's fine. You guys go to Nekeb, because that's more war score as well. Alright. Alright, everyone gather at Perbast. This is like a pretty huge concentration of forces here, with my son, Daniel, leading the Grand Army at Perbast. Good job. Good job, son. Oh, there's the Kemet Navy. Yeah, that's right. You hide in your dock, you cowardly Egyptians. Okay, well, new plan. I'm just gonna post my navy right where their navy is. Like, why not, right? This should keep them in their dock. I think it's worth it for the protection of my southern. So now that I know where their navy is, I can now bring these guys back down to be in this area, just to kind of support the southern armies a bit better. So that's the plan. Man, I'm having so much fun. I haven't played Imperator Rome in a minute. I was distracted by other projects, but this is just truly peak, strategy gameplay. Oh my gosh, yeah, this is the Doom stack. I'm cracking open a Red Bull for this one. Necessary. Ooh. Oh my gosh. Alright. So, I'm noticing a problem here with the numbers. They have more numbers than me and more morale than me. I do have the martial advantage with Daniel. Daniel is just such an ace in the hole here. But I would be attacking in floodplains, and they do have units like heavy cav that I don't really have a great answer to, but they don't have any chariots. What I really need to do to be safe is move one of my sieging armies over to support. And the issue is I don't have... Okay, here's what I do. I'm going to move this navy over, the 5th navy over, to then move the 1st Jordan levy south, because this isn't a capital, this is just a fort. I may not end up... I can just return to siege this fort later, it's fine. And having one more army here would tip the scales and probably hold them back. Ultimately, I don't want to actually take a giant fight at Purbas and just suffer thousands of casualties for sort of no reason. If I can just hold them away from attacking, yeah, and keeping them in the south here, I guess I don't know. We'll still move the army over just to be safe either way. All right, you guys. I have to do it from this angle, actually. Okay, 20th of January. Pirates. Okay, a day late, that's fine. Lacks access. Oh, hold on, I need 13. Okay. That's what was going wrong. Alright, whoops. Go back here. Leave behind 2 of the skirmishers, and then the rest of you come onto the boats. Okay. 20th of January. Okay, this is fine. We'll just move it in 2 groups. That's why that was not working. Alright. You guys come here. Just hold that navy in place. Alright, Pedette's under siege. Good. 20th of January. Here, and then I think I just moved the 500 like that. There, 2nd of February. Okay. I actually don't see their army now, so I need to send this force back over to scout. 7th of February. Alright, with the first levy of Jordan Rafali here, these guys will be... Also, you guys will just march over manually, honestly. I don't mind leaving the siege, or abandoning the siege. Alright, 7th February. Okay, there we go. Alright, 5th Navy, your job is to find that giant Egyptian army and see what's going on with that. Alright, down here, looking good. You guys keep moving northward. Yeah, you guys can just go up there, actually, at this point, honestly. Some of these are coming along quite well. I'm worried that army's going northward now to go and strike my very, very, very vulnerable sieging armies, but we'll see in a minute if I've guessed that right. That's what I would do if I was them. Alright, 12th of February. Ah! Egyptian army spotted. Okay, they're doing some bizarre maneuvering. I don't know what they're doing. Like, splitting apart. I think the AI, the Kemet AI is like panicking. Like they see what's going on in their nation, and they see how badly they've failed to learn from the lessons I taught them very clearly from the first war. So, yep, none shall hide. Great, that was a huge sack right there. Alright. I may, let's see here. I think I'll send these guys over to Umet. Ooh, hold on. I guess that is technically the fastest route. I think I'll actually pick these guys up with the boats and bring them, although I'll pick them up from this spot here, and then I'll bring them on the boats. Alright, let me start looking at peace deals here, just to see what we're talking about. Okay. Oh, I haven't finished that yet. Let me finish sieging that first. Alright, also this movement is... I'm remembering the dates of the movement so I can go back to look at it on that day. Yeah, hell is done. Good, alright. Now I can check this. Okay. So this technically is like the minimum deal I would go for, which they're almost open to. They should be open to this right now, honestly, but they are open to this deal. Let's see, this would be Olive, Moab, and Adam. Firmly returned to me. Okay, 17 AE, that's not so bad. Okay, and then we'll check back on the deal later. Obviously, we're not going to just do that deal if we can help it. Let's see here. Yeah, I think this force here is now unmovable. Kemet's not concentrating their forces very well. We'll keep an eye on them for sure. You guys, come down to start working on... Actually, how large are you? Yeah, you're 2.5. Yeah, ooh, actually, you have to move like this, really? Oh, that's Petra, right, okay. Give me access, Petra. Thanks. Alright, come on down to Ketuit and start working on that. I'm not expecting this to go very well or go very far, but we may as well put them under pressure down there. Right, come on. Siege of Jeddah is one. Okay, finally, we have one of our sieging armies done here. Are you guys here? I think actually come like this to try to sweep up some stack wipes along the way, on the way south, the march south. Oh my god, you were in the fog of war. Ooh, that's a problem. I think the Kadesh levy may be in some trouble here. Okay, here's the play. You come north to join the force at Sima Bedet, and then this levy, I'm actually going to retreat. Oh wait, I dropped them off. I can't move them at all, can I? Ooh, okay. This 6K force completely evaded my scouting. I was not paying attention. It's so hard to tell what line of sight you have where, because the fog is such a subtle graphic. I think this army might just be, like, dead. I don't know what I can do here. The game very charitably thinks this is a balanced battle, but I don't have any idea how on earth that could possibly be true. I think, yeah, my best bet is to just shore up this force here. Together they're about 6K. They're still less numbers than these guys, but they will have the 9 Marshal of Daniel over here. So I think this army here may just be dead. I don't think there's a solution, because I don't have any boats in position. Yeah, mistakes were made. I'll bring the 11 fleet up here to try to retreat it onto there if I can get there in time. But they're going to take too long to sail up there. Yeah, I should have kept a navy in the north here. That was a mistake. Oh well. That is just how it goes sometimes. Hopefully, because the army's large enough, they're going to be able to retreat. I'll retreat them over to... I'll probably retreat them, let's see here, probably to Pershat, just to be protected. So, when is this happening? 9th of March. Okay, so we have a minute here. Yeah, but we'll shore up this spot here with these guys. I can maybe retreat them onto the boats if there's time. That would be the best option, honestly. Let's see here. We're going to get more and more open to it as time goes on. Once I sack their capital, they're going to definitely be open to it. Oh, I forgot to move you. Whoops. 6th of March. Alright. Let's try to remember that. 6th of March. pirates. That's fine. Actually, you know what? I should probably just assault this at this point. I have so many forces here. After the monthly tick, I'll assault that. Alright, you guys come up here. I'm going to drop you guys off to go get Umet, and then go and grab Geb 2. Alright, I have to march. Okay, my fleet will be in position actually just in time. We do have to actually flee from the fight. I hope that we can pull that off, but we shall see. 5 days. Will my son hold out that long? I think he will. Oh, what a champion. He is distinguishing himself in this war in a big way. I can't flee there? Hold on. That's how I came into the fort. Okay, whatever. Oh, I bet I came in on the other side. Oh, shoot. Okay. So can I flee? Like, am I allowed to? Leading from the front. Our troops flee in abject terror before the might of our foes. Daniel Abred believes that they may have a better chance to escape and rally if he leads a diversionary charge against our foes. Dare we let him? Oh my god, I'm not going to kill my son. This guy's amazing. 967? Holy crap, I'm not going to let him do that. Coward isn't great, but, yeah. We're going to get... I mean, this is honestly not the worst outcome manpower-wise, but having Coward on our son definitely isn't ideal. Yeah, reduce Marshal by 1. Morale of armies downsides. That's painful, but honestly, once he's leading the levy of Herman, I'm not going to be using his levies to like fight battles mainly. They're going to be a sacking force predominantly, so it is what it is. Okay, that's fine. So these guys are going to flee over to Pershat, where they're going to be probably pretty safe. They're behind forts at Jedit, and or they're behind the fort at Jedit at least, so that's fine. Now this force here is a little more vulnerable. Well, I think it's probably okay, actually. We'll wait and see. Okay. These guys are out of here. Also, so it looks like that these boats aren't blocking the river, so I think the rivers aren't blockable the way that some of the other kinds are. So yeah, so I think this force up here is safe for now. It's so close to finishing as well, so let's hope that they do just that. These guys arrive. Oh, these guys have arrived already, okay. Hop off the boats to Geb 2 and siege that down. Yes. Okay. And we're going to have to unfortunately call it here for this episode. Sorry for the cliffhanger ending. But our second war with Kemet, despite a couple of mishaps and misplays here or there, mostly going pretty well. Once we sack their capital and get access to some more of their juicy, largely unfortified Nile core as we go northward, they're going to really be feeling the pain, and the war scroll will keep piling on. We have our actual war target more or less achieved at this point, so at this point it's just a matter of hurting Kemet as much as we can, and maybe expanding Jedit a little bit, making Kemet release some more people. We can probably force them to re-release the people they just retook in Sinai to further scramble things over there. Whatever the case, we're going to see what happens next time on the Dammâseq campaign, so thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.